This is an emergency update, so please pay attention because an opportunity like this, it won't come again. All right, what does that mean? It means you might get a once in a lifetime chance to watch a stock market crash, but more importantly, actually profit from it. Let's pay attention. Failed breakout number one, failed breakout number two, failed breakout number one, two, and three. And then what? That's right, we print a lower low. That's exactly what we did here. Print the lower low. And then that's right, negative 20% from the highs. Bitcoin's already down 15% in the last month, and it's already in correction territory. If the pattern's going to play out, we're either going to get a nice little bounce here, which we're going to sell into, or we're just going to roll over immediately. All right, great. Let's read this headline here. Trump says brief economic pain is worth a long-term gain. Will Americans agree? That's exactly what I'm trying to show you here. So if this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and this pattern is correct, it means this might be a trap. That's right. But if we're wrong, it could be a bear market. A bear market is very painful for bulls. Why? It means we might be back down to that blue line or over 100 points lower than where we are right now. All right. So once in a lifetime, walk me through this. Make it really simple because so far you're kind of losing me. All right, let's make it even simpler. At the end of the video, I'm going to walk you through how my portfolio is prepared for this. But at a high level, your time is very valuable. So what does it come down to? It comes down to the country on the left versus the country on the right. Who was going to win? Because have a look here. This week, there's a really big update. Trump tariffs. If war is what the U.S. wants, be it a tariff war, a trade war, or any type of war, we're ready to fight till the end. Cool. And read this headline right here. It's a little bit of a doozy. It's Xi Jinping's world, and Trump is just living in it. Whoa. Is this fiction or reality? There's this new thing called Manus AI. Oh my God. This looks like the real deal. It is actually a general AI, right? AGI. It's actually pretty damn good. I'm not going to go through and walk you through this now, but wow, it even does stock market financial analysis, right? Stock analysis. So I would encourage you to watch all the way until the end of today's video because there might be a sea change about to happen. DeepSeek reveals theoretical margins on its AI model at 545%. Oh my God. Is the West about to lose its supremacy? This is where I defer to someone much smarter than me. His name is Ray Dalio. And he tells us that rather than thinking I'm right, I started to ask myself, how do I know that I'm right? And that's exactly what I want to walk you through this weekend. So, like I said, your time is valuable. Here's all the key dates which could drive this week, starting with what? Today, March 9th, we got the Mexico response. Then we got maybe peace, maybe not. Then we got tariffs. We got CPI, 10-year auction, PPI, NVIDIA, and then more tariffs. Here's the key levels that could drive the market this week for the SPY. We can also note I teased out this bear market potential here. There is evidence. I would encourage you to pause the video, but at a high level, we're waiting for either number one or number two. What is that? A recapture of 583 or the monthly higher low, and then holding until the March 31st area. All right, cool. Well, you also said this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Yes, let's have a look here. Why? Because we're getting the big Nike swoosh if what I said is correct. Again, if here. So please watch through because I'm going to walk you through a whole bunch of stuff. There's a lot to go through. I'm trying to jam a lot into this short video, so please just pay attention. So here we are right now. We could go down. We could go all the way back up. If that happens, it's going to be a failed breakout. That's the note I just gave to you. So we have to recapture 583 and hold until the end of the month. If we look here really closely, we actually close the month of March out higher than we open up. What would that look like on the tape here? All right, so we close higher than we open. So if right now we're opening at 596, we would have to close above that. That's correct. We would have to close. What did I just do? We would have to close above that. So we would have to have a pretty big reversal. That's 20 points. That's a pretty monster move. Yeah, that is a pretty monster move. How is that going to happen? Well, let's follow along. All right, let's follow along because we don't want to assume we're right. This is, do I want to make money? Do I want to be right or do I want to make money? Hey, I just want to make money. I don't really care about being right. So now the evidence is telling me that if this is the low of the year, which it is right there, look, that's the low of the year. Then we go up, sideways, up more, sideways, and then up more. All right, cool. And right now, what? People are fearful. They're extremely fearful. Do we buy fear or do we sell fear? That's right, we buy fear. I'm going to ask you for a huge favor. If you could please consider smashing that thumbs up or subscribing to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. So right now, people are scared, but they also don't think stocks are going to have all that great of a year. Excellent. Means they're what? They're ready to buy. Or it might be a trap. So is this the biggest sale of the year coming, or is it a bear market? Because right now, single stocks are trailing the S&P by the most going back to 1999. So are we going into euphoria, which means we're telling people, hey, we got to go buy more on margin. Got to go tell everybody. Or are we saying I'm going to be rich and I have to go tell everybody? Well, this is where we can look to money market funds, which are now at a record $7 trillion. And I think that I don't think we're there yet. Why? Read it. Record, right? Surpasses it for the first time. People are what? They're raising cash. That doesn't sound like thrill or euphoria. It doesn't to me. All right. So if it's not thrill or euphoria, what do we do with this right here? Well, this is a precursor to a recession. This is a GDP now. It's a tracker. We're sitting here at March 9th. It has to wait until March 31st to be correct, but it went down to negative 2.8. And right now, it's sitting here at negative 2.4. So what does that mean? It means that's one half of our way to a recession if the number holds. And we got things that are looming right now. March 4th, 12th, April 2nd. We talked about this. All right. So what do we do if the biggest sale of the year is coming? Well, if it's the biggest sale of the year, that's much different than if it's the bear market. If we're going to slam down to this blue line, which would basically be strong support, we have to be mindful of that. I'm going to get to that. So please just bear with me here. All right. In a recession, stocks tend to drop in value, even good companies. Oh, that doesn't sound good. So if stocks go on sale and we repeat the seasonality chart, which I'm going to show you right here again one more time, then it will be the biggest sale of the year and maybe even the biggest sale of the Trump presidency. Or is it going to be a bear market? So I've painted a pretty rosy story so far, and I'll come back to the bulls a little bit later in the show. But right now, let's have a look here. USA versus the country I named at the top. In 2000, the US dominates. Where are we today? 2024. It's a red world out there. It's awfully red. And who are they attacking? Oh, our only partners left. Look on this side here. You don't see any red, right? There's no red over here. Oh, yeah, we're attacking the ones that are left. Cool story, bro. And wow, look at this headline here. I'm like, wow, that's a pretty big doozy. It's this guy's world, and Trump is just living in it. He's like, yeah, look at the nice flowers, though. Look over here, nice flowers, right? I'm Winnie the Pooh. I like to make honey. How do I make honey? With some beautiful flowers. There we go. And this is at a time when Apple confirms the delay of their AI-infused, personalized Siri assistant. And then there's that Manus AI I just showed you. Wow, this looks like the real deal. And people are probably not going to talk about it for a week or two like they did with DeepSeek. But right now, we're into extreme fear. Is this going to wash out? Because remember, the stock market is the only place when the items go on sale, people run out of the store. They're already fearful. We're already getting bearish evidence. We can see that. We're below support. Where are we? We're at 575. This is no longer a higher low. It's not really support anymore. Why? We are below it. We're below it. Yes, we're below it. Doesn't mean it's support anymore. All right, so if stocks go on sale, how big of a sale could they go on? NASDAQ is nearing correction. So Bitcoin is down 20% off the highs. The NASDAQ is flirting with correction. We showed you that here. There's the Bitcoin, right? The Bitcoin year to date, negative 10.5. We got the NASDAQ here down by 3.6. Okay. S&P, red year to date. All right. Look at where the pain is. It's these magnificent stocks. Yes, that's where the pain is concentrated. So investors who bought Trump's pro-growth agenda, well, now they're paying for it, right? Fired. So we were also told that Trump's scoreboard is the S&P 500, and that's our best hope. Trump should be taken seriously, but not literally. This is what they told us going back to November of 2024. I don't think we can afford to take him not seriously and not literally anymore. Why? Because our stonks are going down, baby. Stonks are going down. So is that a trick or a treat? This is where, again, I'm asking myself, is what he's telling me going to make me feel like I'm right, or am I getting evidence I'm right? So now I'm going to show you this thing here because this is why I'm still bullish. I've talked about how it's 1995, and if that's the case, we're going to go through this bell curve of adoption for all of these new products. And right now, read this headline here. right? US efforts to contain this country are not working. They have tech supremacy. Why? Electric vehicles, scrolling through the web on their smartphones, and powering their homes with solar panels. What is going on here? I'm angry. Why? Because America might not be number one anymore. This other country over here, they're taking over. And we know about Stargate versus what they're going to try to do. So now let's think about this one more time. If it's really 2000 versus 2024 and they have superior technology, could this headline here actually be real? Right? Is it actually this guy's world and Trump's just living in it? It could be. I'm not going to discount it to zero. Why? Apple delays its Siri upgrade indefinitely as AI concerns escalate. Versus Magnus, right? Like a snap of a finger. There you go. Presto magic. We got to figure it out. And now look over here. There's all of these AI robots, the top 26 we want to watch for. And I even have a video here that I was planning to play. Let's watch this one right. So what's so curious about this, I'm just going to jump forward. So this guy forgot his bags. We got a robot right here. This is Boston Dynamics. I think this video is like a year old now too. But what he's showing us here is that he's got some decent reasoning, right? He's pretty heavy too. So as he's walking around, he's grabbing the bag here. So is the US going to beat the other country? That's the really big question. Is this good enough? Is this real world application? Like, look, he jumps up, throws it over. Right? He's pretty big too. He's pretty heavy. He knocks this thing down. Cool. All right, let's go. Let me jump on there. All right, watch this. Oh my goodness, somersault, 360 spin. That's right. And now the other country is doing the same thing. So what I'm really trying to show you here is whether it is this guy's world or if Trump is going to fire him. He's like, yeah, you. Yeah, you're effing fired. This country has launched a center to train 100 plus humanoid robots simultaneously, all at the same time. And the West is not waiting. They're investing too. Meta plans major investments into AI-powered humanoid robots. So how early are we into this? Is it still hype? Well, Gene Munster tells us that there's still roughly 2 years left in this run. Great, 2 more years? Let's make the money, sir. Because right now I have a technical pattern that tells us that too. We are a little bit lower than here. We are getting some bearish evidence, but we also said that we're not going to fight the trend until we get all of this bearish evidence. Right now, we're sitting right here at number 2. We might actually go to number 3. That would be next month. And then we also have this pattern here, which is our back-to-back engulfing pattern. Look, rally by 200 points. That would be a massive rally. And then finally, I already talked about the 1990s versus 2020s. This is when the S&P was at 529. I heard the same whining and complaining then as I do now. But look at the pattern. In 1990s, went 1, 2, 3, 4, and after the new all-time high, which we can see right here, we rallied by an incredible 220%. That would be 1,500 on the S&P. That would be 900 points more. So I talked about potentially 100 points to the downside, right? We talked about maybe going down to strong support. If we were to come back down to here, that would be our previous all-time high. It would be the 50 MA, and it would also be a 100 plus point decline, a bear market. It would repeat the pattern. So if we drop by 100 or we, go up by 900, that is incredible risk reward. I really like those numbers. All right. So if now we continue the story here, this is where this week is going to really matter because there's a really big event, everything at stake in their 2 sessions as Trump 2.0 shapes the world. Okay. Why? Well, let's read this one here. 2 sessions 2025. They can look back on 5 years of straight gains at the expense of the USA. That's right. Winnie the Pooh, he coming for you. And then finally, as anything but China fades, can 2 sessions spark optimism amid AI surge? Let's go. Right. So I'm trying to show you some evidence that I think I'm right, but I don't know that I'm right because the one thing I do know is that the only thing that's for sure is that nothing is for sure. So we talked about this. Do we have to take Trump seriously and literally now? I think we do. And if this headline is correct, it's pretty scary. Look what they're doing over in Japan. They got stupid cat robots. Cool. Over in the other country, they're doing everything they can. Look, they're going to roll out AI courses for kids to boost the sector's growth. I think we're fairly early into this bell curve. Also, we have Stargate versus other country. Do you think the U.S. is going to want to spend to make themselves look smart, smart, smart? I think so. I think we're going to get this. I think we're going to get AI everything. Why? Because that's how humans work. Here's the key dates again one more time. So instead of getting worried, we are going to let our levels and our dates drive our decision making. Read this headline here. Ready for any type of war. Cool. What kind? Hey, take your pick. We got it. Who's our biggest partners? Hey, let's attack those guys there. And then finally, there's a disconnect happening right now. The S&P 500 is well below Wall Street strategists' year-end projections. Why? Well, because people are paying for his mistake. At least for now. We've been told short-term pain, but the long-term gain part, that's not a certainty. That's not a guarantee. As of right now, we're just getting punished. We're the ones paying for it. All right, cool. So that kind of seems like a bit of a concern. So who is going to left? Who's going to win? Who's going to be left or the right? 545% profit. Wow. All right, that's it for today's video. So quite a bit longer than our normal ones, but here are the stocks I'm currently holding. I'm holding Lockheed Martin. I'm holding Google for an AI search snapback. I'm holding Brazil. I'm holding DBA, which is going to be food, AI, and AAP. As of right now, my portfolio is crushing it so far this year. I am up by over 9% on the year. And the most important part is that we have fresh ideas that come through all the time. We can see all the old ideas that expired that I passed on. So generally speaking, for every one idea that I buy, I'm passing on multiples here. Like we have roughly 50. So if that interests you and you want to come trade with our AI agent, which is powered by me, Justin from YouTube, you can come trade with me. You'll get access to my 401k and Roth account, private education, one-on-one help from me, and basically everything you need to know. Otherwise, there are a ton of free resources in the description, and I would encourage you to click on those. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'll see you on the next video.